my, you know what I'm saying? When the crackers came searching me, all that bullshit, spread your wings and, you know, your hands and all this bullshit, all that, the razor wasn't my.
Just a daily routine. Once you this is your life. You live it, you walk it, you talk it.
You know, the officers got hit to, you know, putting the razor blade in their mouth. So what they would do was take Vaseline, stick their hand in the Vaseline, and stick the Vaseline in that hole. Take the razor blade, find a piece of plastic, wrap the razor blade with plastic, and force the razor blade in that.
You go inside the facility, you don't clear the mag. What happens is they put you under observation for 72 hours.
It was one day, inmate walked through the magnetometer and it activated. So maybe take his belt off, cigarettes out, put it on the the garbage can so we could search him. Inmate walked through again. He kept ringing.
And when you're under that observation inside that room, they got cameras on you, got a pig on you, watching your shit. You know what I'm saying? Putting his hands through your like he's some type of freak.
The captain, you know, ordered him to pull his pants down and bend down and squat and spread your cheeks.
You get stripped, you know what I'm saying, in your birthday suit. You strip down to your birthday suit. And the first thing they tell you is to pass your fingers through your hair.
No matter the way, run your fingers through your head.
Make sure there ain't nothing in your hair, if you have hair. You know, cock your ears, you know what I'm saying? Lift up your you know what I'm saying? Separate your from your make sure there ain't nothing take you there. And then turn around and actually crack your
Turn around, spread your cheeks with both hands at the same time. Show me the bottom of your feet.
You know what I'm saying? To let this individual look at your you actually turning around and cracking your this in another man to look at your
So it may bend down and spread his cheeks and, you know, just lo and behold, they seen something stuffed in his. So it was like, what do you got in your? So then the inmate put his hands in his and pulled out, you know, was covered in plastic and just threw it on the floor and boom, damn razor blade came right out of there.
The clearest way I can explain it, man, is for animals in there, man.
Editing this was tough going. Looking at this was tough going. Tell me a little bit about these inmates. What would you say to those who say, these guys are beyond retrieve? They're hopeless. What do you say?
Well, I say that to get through this madness, we need everybody's assistance. And myself as a correction officer, I gave some of my awareness and information about what takes place in prison. But we could use these guys that are actually doing time, that are coming home to the street, to mentor, to give this information to the young children that are coming up today. Prison is not the place you want to be, shorty. Go home, listen to your parents, do your homework.
The inmates that you interviewed, that was done off the base of the prison. They were back in civilian life, is that correct?
Yes.
How did you talk them into it?
Well, they're human beings, and everybody, you know, has a sense of wanting to give back. You know, that information that they gave will hopefully help several children not to want to go to jail.
And that's what you really said to them, and that's what made them agree to do it?
Yes.
So there is hope for them?
Yes, there is. It's all about the information and, you know, just bringing awareness to the situation, to what really takes place in prison that's not being talked about.
Do you feel that this is the major attack that needs to be launched to stop this ugliness among our young people?
Well, I feel it's one step, awareness, information, and definitely programs. Programs, you can get a correction officer, police officer, inmate to actually sit down and mentor to these children in the classrooms, forums, and just sessions, just bringing awareness to what really takes place in prison, because these children have no idea what takes place in prison.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and continue this with the last clip and some more talk.
Man, imprisonment is your mind. It's a frame of mind, man.
I always say slavery ended a long time ago. But when I stepped inside Rikers Island, And it's probably going on in other prisons too. I think that is the highest slavery rank up in there.
I went to Africa, and I went to the Elmina slave dungeons. That's where they used to keep the slaves in actual pens until the ships came to take them to other plantations, to wherever they needed them.
Human beings who can think and feel were reduced to the status of domestic animals and packed in these dungeons like books stacked on shelves. There's so much crammed over here that some of them suffocated to death, some starved to death.
As I walked through the corridors, the same corridors that the slaves walked down, you know, I had visions of when I used to work at Rikers Island, like the same corridors that the inmates used to walk down.
Over here, there was a guard here to watch the movement of the captives.
Excuse me, gentlemen, keep it down.
And actually went inside one of the slave pens, and I looked around and I circled around, and it just took me right back to Rikers Island, to where they used to house the inmates, put them together the same way inside these pens. But the buses used to come and take them up north to other penitentiaries, to wherever they needed these inmates.
They didn't know what was happening. They didn't know that they were being sold into slavery. Just imagine being captured in a war, being dragged down the coast here and then put into chains and shackles to be taken to the new world.
Jail is modern slavery. It's all racist, and it's all politics. And like I said before, it's all about paper. You know what I mean? The more I lock you up, the more money you make.
You get your wake-up call as soon as they slap the cuffs on you, and you know you gotta go through that.
You don't want to go to jail, dogs. It's not smooth, man. That's for birds. For real. A motherfucker will stun on you and will blast you in a minute.
An inmate has to hit rock bottom before he realizes, listen, this is not for me, man. And that's when he realized, listen, enough is enough for me. I have to do something to stop coming in and out these doors here. And when he started doing that, we started realizing that there's a change that'll come in his life where he just stop wanting to come inside the penitentiary and start going in the other direction.
I'm just one of the fortunate men that I'm blessed to be here. You know what I'm saying? I could actually wake up every morning and say, thank you, Jesus.
You cannot forget for a moment that environment. The moment you forget that environment, you're back in there.
And so those are that's the lion's share of your work. What would you say to those who have seen this and say, this is really too much? Can't stand it. Even though I don't hear the profanity, I know what they were saying. And you shouldn't show this stuff on television, and you shouldn't show it to children, to young audience. What would you say to them?
I feel that this documentary is definitely needed for these young children to see, because I feel that they're being brainwashed with ideas that prison is a place that you could be accepted, that you can't be a man unless you go through prison. So it's definitely an informational tool.
Do you think that it would have the same impact if it were decaffeinated?
No, we're not.
Watered down, made more palatable?
No, you can't water this down, because then you take away the reality of what really takes place in prison. So you have to give it to children raw. They're watching stuff much horrible than this documentary, but this is information that they're receiving.
What can heal the rage that you've seen among these inmates? Even when they get out, you can see it in the way they express themselves. Do you have any ideas about what can heal it?
I feel that definitely programs that they could really connect with themselves, to learn their history, to learn how powerful that they are as individuals and human beings. Definitely the programs.
And also good awareness of history, that parable that you showed about the African enslavement.
Oh yes, definitely, because the parallels do exist. I had the privilege to actually go to Ghana, to actually see the slave dungeons, to where they used to keep the slaves.
Right. Okay, we have a last segment